From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, November 15th. We're off to kind of a gloomy start today. Not extremely cold by any means, but you're going to have a lot of clouds throughout the day, and we're going to be in the mid-50s.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
We are working to confirm the name of the person injured in a police shooting downtown. It happened after authorities say the suspect hit a police officer with their vehicle at the CVS at the corner of 16th and Meridian. IMPD says it all started when officers responded to a welfare check of an unresponsive person inside an SUV. They say officers tried for several minutes to get the man's attention. When he woke up, he got out of his vehicle and initially complied with the police officer's orders, but then authorities say the suspect got back into the vehicle, reversed, and pinned an officer against the wall. That's when another IMPD officer fired shots at the suspect. He then got out of the vehicle, according to police, and officers arrested him. At this time, the suspect is stable. The officer who was struck is also in good condition. IMPD says the officer who fired shots will be placed on administrative leave, which is standard procedure. The coroner's office in Lake County says a man who died in police custody died of natural causes. 26-year-old Riker Earl was having a medical emergency in his home when police were called back in September. Police body camera video shows officers and EMTs holding Earl down and injecting him with sedatives, but an autopsy report shows Earl died from cardiac arrest caused by cardiovascular disease. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing Earl's family. He issued a statement saying it is deeply troubling that despite Riker Earl's pleas for help while in the midst of a medical emergency, he was restrained and sedated in front of his family in a manner that raises serious questions. Crump also said they are investigating the actions of police and EMT personnel involved in the incident and have requested the coroner's files for review. State police are also investigating Earl's death. In Indianapolis, the widow of a man killed in an Uber that was struck by a vehicle fleeing from police is now suing the city of Indianapolis for damages. According to court documents, James Collins was riding in an Uber when he was hit by another vehicle being pursued by police back in April. Collins passed away from his injuries in June. His family says the crash was caused by a high-speed chase. The lawsuit accuses IMPD of negligence, claiming the chase put the public at risk. The driver of the suspect vehicle is now facing criminal charges in the case. Turning now to I-Team 8. A Marine is sentenced to 5 years for a deadly crash that took the lives of a Fisher's kindergarten teacher and her husband. I-Team 8's Kat Sandoval was in the courtroom and talked to the victim's family.
The Lansdale family and friends waited 865 days. That's 2 years and 4 months for this sentence.
St. Father's Day card 3 years in a row.
Patrick Ross talks about losing his daughter in the deadly crash. 2 years ago, on July 2022, Marine recruiter Jamie Heredia was speeding, driving on a government-issued vehicle going 78 miles an hour on a 40-mile-per-hour road at the corner of East 56th Street and Glen Road. He was intoxicated. He hit kindergarten teacher Ashley Lansdell and her husband Grant. Both later died from their injuries. Court documents say Heredia called another Marine to help him get rid of alcohol bottles after the accident, instead of rendering aid to the Lansdells. On the stand, Ashley's father telling Heredia no new memories will ever be made.
No videos of Ashley's classroom. No updates of Mia's progress in school.
He describes Ashley as a loving mother, teacher, and daughter. The couple were married for 11 years and leaves behind 4 children. Grant's daughter, Julie, said it's been a difficult 2 years waiting for this day.
And while his family can visit him and write him letters, my family is writing eulogies.
Grant's brother, who fondly remembers him as a musician who loves his trombone, looks right at Heredia.
You are no longer to be called or even considered to be a Marine. Don't ever say that you were part of us.
Heredia showed remorse during the hearing.
To the accident, I asked God why I lived and didn't die. It probably would have been better if I had died. I had not only destroyed someone else's family, but I also destroyed mine.
The judge ordered Heredia to undergo treatment for alcoholism. He will be allowed to return to South Carolina to be with his family during probation. One family member tells me that this is not a closure. This is the end of the trial, but more healing needs to be done. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Kat Sandoval, ITmate, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Staying with ITmate, the Hancock County prosecutor fired one of his own deputy prosecutors over anti-Trump comments that she posted on her personal social media after the election. ITmate's Cody Fisher brought those posts to an IU law professor to see if her firing violates her First Amendment rights.
An IU law professor tells me that because the former deputy prosecutor had such a forward-facing job where she interacted with people in the public all of the time, that probably played a very big role in the reason why she was fired. This is one of the social media posts that landed former Hancock County Deputy Prosecutor Jordan Willette Stroh in hot water following the election. It says, "If you voted for Trump, please unfriend me. You disgust me and clearly don't respect me or other human beings." Shortly afterwards, she reposted this quote from author A.R. Moxon. It says, "Historians have a word for Germans who joined the Nazi Party, not because they hated Jews, but out of a hope for restored patriotism or a sense of economic anxiety, or hope to preserve their religious values, or dislike of their opponents, or raw political opportunism, or convenience, or ignorance, or greed. That word is Nazi. Nobody cares about their motives anymore. They joined what they joined. They lent their support and their moral approval, and in doing so, they bound themselves to everything that came after. Who cares anymore what particular knot they used in the binding?" In the letter firing Willette Stroh, Hancock County prosecutor Brent Eaton said that post could be construed as her calling Trump voters Nazis. He said, "It is impossible for the public, your colleagues and law enforcement to have confidence in you and believe that you are going to make decisions based only on the law and facts when you have publicly referred to large parts of the community in the matter referenced above on your social media account."
I think the prosecutor has a legitimate point.
Steve Sanders teaches constitutional law at the IU Maurer School of Law.
I worry that these comments could very easily lead people to believe this is not a prosecutor who is able to do her job fairly.
In a statement, Willette Stroh told me, "My personal opinions as to those who I wish to interact with in my personal life have no bearing on my ability to be fair and impartial. In fact, prior to this current election, my opinions remained the same, and at no point did my personal opinions prevent me from being fair and impartial in the execution of my duties. At the end of the day, my job was to advocate for the safety of the people of Hancock County, and all of my actions did so." Sanders says if the posts had contained different content, then Eaton would not have had the legal standing to fire Willette Stroh.
Even if she had written a letter or tweeted expressing concerns about Trump's foreign policy or what Trump was going to do with the Department of Education, I think there'd be a strong argument there that her First Amendment rights would prevail. Here, where she not only expressed political views about Trump, she attacked the people who are supporting Trump. And so I think that just changes the calculus.
Reporting in Hancock County for ITmate, I'm Cody Fisher for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and remember, follow us on Facebook for updates.
Indiana's ban on gender-affirming care for minors will stay in place. That's the latest from the Federal Appeals Court ruling. A panel of judges ruled 2-1 in favor of the ban, ruling that the Indiana General Assembly did not infringe on the constitutional rights of transgender children. The law was originally set to take effect in July, but was halted by an injunction. The ACLU of Indiana says it now is considering its next steps on appealing the decision. Donald Trump announced more appointments to his cabinet last night at a Mar-a-Lago gala. He said that he plans to name Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The former presidential candidate is a prominent vaccine skeptic. Trump said Kennedy will head a massive cabinet agency overseeing drugs, vaccines, food safety, medical research, and Medicare and Medicaid programs. Trump also named North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum as Secretary of Interior. Burgum was considered a possible vice presidential candidate for Trump this summer. In your health spotlight, doctors say there are two types of dementia: frontal lobe dementia and alcohol-induced dementia. News 8's Brittany Noble takes a closer look at the differences between them.
Actor Bruce Willis is living with it, and so is talk show host Wendy Williams. But the types of dementia that they are diagnosed with are different. The frontotemporal dementia strikes early.
It usually presents with changes in people's personality and changes in language that affects people's ability to both perform their jobs and eventually take care of themselves.
Behavioral neurologist Russell Sawyer at the University of Cincinnati says genetics may play a role for up to 40% of patients, and science could soon be able to stop its progression.
Either gene therapy, in which we change out the gene for a new functional gene, or replacing the proteins that we're missing.
Meanwhile, alcohol-induced dementia is the direct effect of drinking too much for too long. It's associated with memory loss, difficulty with problem solving, and impaired judgment.
2 drinks per week over a 1-year period of time was associated with both smaller brains and more thinking and memory problems.
Early detection and research are keys to managing and possibly stopping the progression of the diseases. I'm Brittany Noble for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
In Pacers Watch, the team just revealed their new City Edition uniforms. They look very similar to last year's design, but this time they're white instead of black, and the Indy on the chest is in blue instead of white. Team says the paint splatter details are a nod to Indy's art scene and murals. You will get your first look at those uniforms in action when the Pacers take on the Miami Heat this Sunday. Wish TV is your home to the best high school football coverage. Tonight is all about the regionals. Lawrence North takes on Brownsburg in a big 6A regional showdown. You can catch each and every play live in our sister station, My Indy TV 23, starting at 7 o'clock. Happening today, the Indiana Historical Society's Festival of Trees is back for its 11th year. It's taking place at the Indiana Historical Society on Ohio Street, featuring 85 beautifully decorated trees, special programs, shopping, and a 30-foot centerpiece tree. Kids under 5 get in for free. Adult tickets are $20. Festival runs Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5 until January 4th. Town of Speedway will kick off its Movies on Main series tonight with a free outdoor showing of Elf. The movie starts at 6:30 at the plaza located at 14th and Main Street. Organizers are encouraging moviegoers to bundle up and bring chairs and blankets for the evening. This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY at checkout.
Whether you're scouring business financial sites or listening to economics podcasts like this one till your ears ring, you'll find there's no surefire secret to successfully managing your company's finances for the future. It turns out you might just need to pair with PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking, whose team of dedicated relationship managers bring 160 years of experience, pragmatic advice, and an array of tools and tech to scale to any size business. In fact, they're so tuned in to what you need, they knew you'd be listening to this podcast. As for that ringing in your ears, that's the brilliant sound of success. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC and PNC Bank are registered marks of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., PNC. Copyright 2024, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.